Hey, what's up? Ken from Palm Beach Dyno here. I wanted to show you guys a new product coming out from Injector Dynamics. I haven't seen a bunch about it yet on the internet, so here it is. You probably don't even know what it is when you first look at it because it looks a little different than most other competitors of the same type of product. If anything, it looks more like a remote oil filter housing or something like that. But being from Injector Dynamics, you could probably guess it's related to fuel, and this is their newest fuel filter. Looks pretty complicated for a fuel filter, but for a good reason. What Injector Dynamics has always been good at, and how they probably started, I know this is how they started, they addressed a problem that was out there in the market that nobody had a solution for, and at that time it was proper injector data, okay, and matching them and all that goes along with it. But the data is what really set them apart, and what those guys bring to the table is an extra level of understanding of the whole system. One of the things that they understand and they have addressed now is most of the fuel filters out there are really bad at capturing the particles that are going to keep your fuel injectors healthy. As you can see here at the bottom, this is where the filter's housed. It screws on. One thing I really like about it is every little thing about it is done correctly. Look at how nice this release latch is. You can't take it off without hitting the button. And you have to hold it the whole time. But there's the filter. And the nice thing about this media that they use, it's microglass, and it actually meets or exceeds the requirement of Bosch. There's a lot of technical information that we can go over later in the instructions. It tells you what it's capable of filtering compared to other common filters on the market. I don't really want to go over all that. The point is this is what you need. It's designed to go in the engine bay, and it has a lot of other neat features built in besides the filter. Things that you need to determine if you need a new filter, first off, and that's this right here. This is the Delta P indicator, and this is showing you the pressure drop across the filter when it's being used. So obviously, if you pressure drop basically means if you have 40 psi here and you have 39.5 here, you have 0.5 psi pressure drop. So this is this gauge is going to tell you what? It's going to tell you when this is clogged and it needs to be changed. And again, all this has gone over in the directions. I'm not going to go over details. One other feature I wanted to go over is right here on the front. Some of you may recognize this, some of you may not, probably due to how old you are or if you're a Ford guy only. The newer Fords don't have this on the car. It's called a Schrader Valve, and it could be used to release pressure in the system. This is going to come in handy when it's time to change your filter if you have pressure built up in the system to relieve the pressure, or I believe you should also be able to use this if you wanted to drain your tank to change out from regular pump gas to E85, for instance. They give you this nice little fitting here. It's barbed on one end, screws right onto the Schrader valve, and there's actually a little O-ring in there. So what happens is you'll have a hose hooked up to this, and as you screw it on, it's going to seal against the outside of the Schrader valve before it breaks open the valve. So that way there's no leaking. The minute you turn it on, fuel will start flowing out of here if there's pressure, or if you have the once you have it running, if the pump's running, you can also use that to drain your tank. So it's a nice little feature. I do this a lot, and that's why I got excited about this. It's very often that a car comes in and he wants a tune on pump gas and a tune on E85, so we tune it on pump gas, and then it comes time to swap it out to E85. Depending on how the fuel system's set up, it's either really easy for me to do or really difficult. It couldn't get much easier than this. So anyway, we're going to be offering this filter, of course. I believe the retail for this filter is $300, and it's well worth it. The engineering on it is just outstanding. One other detail they added here is they have room here, which I don't have it here, but for the addition of an extra block, which adds a port for a fuel pressure or temperature sensor. Makes it a lot easier if you want a fuel pressure gauge or anything like that. So this unit is out actually right now from ID. You'll be hearing a lot more about it soon. It retails for $300. We'll be offering it by itself or in some package deals with different fuel system components. So keep an eye out on our website for it.